We were looking at this on the main channel, and I was ranking running backs, and I sat there and I said, what am I doing? Ranking Breece Hall any lower than a top 10 potential, but like top 5 upside. I mean, he's got top 5 upside. He does, but no one's talking about it. Nobody's talking about how this guy, if he lands in KC, lands in Washington, even stays in New York Jet and they build around him properly, but probably he's gone because he doesn't want to stay there. He's out. He's literally grown tired of it. He's a free agent. They could tag him and not successfully trade him. It's possible. But this is the Jets. They probably screw this up. This is a top 8 dynasty running back that you can buy for an extremely low amount of value. And once this thing gets opened up and everyone's talking about it, you won't be able to grab Breece Hall as cheap as you can grab him right now. Right now, he's a steal in Dynasty top 10. Right now, he's a steal in underdog if, let's say, drafts open today. And they'll open right after the NFL Super Bowl, and you'll still have that time, that amount of time to grab this running back in a steal territory. In redraft, this could be one of the biggest steals in fantasy football 2026. In Dynasty, you can make these moves now. Because the moment we start hearing more KC landing spot, they're going to trade for him. The moment we hear Washington is now interested in getting a workhorse running back that JD5 can throw 70 footballs to every single season to develop JD5 better. The moment an OC goes to Washington that ends up being conducive to Breece Hall's skill set, we start seeing Breece Hall climb up rankings, climb up ADP rankings, climb up dynasty value charts. This is, if not the biggest, one of the biggest running back steals in redraft and dynasty in this moment in time. It will not last forever. The Fantasy Football Show Graveyard Edition begins right now, pal.
You're watching a Graveyard Stream. Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Dynasty Fantasy Football Show.
Here we are, and there's a little man known as Breece Hall. He's 8 feet tall. Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football. No one's going to be talking about this. No one's going to be talking about this but us. We're so far ahead of the curve on this one. I'm telling you, no one's sniffing Breece Hall as a top 10 running back. And so get on top of this now before it's too late. And the bottom line is this. He can explode beyond his ADP right now and expected trade value by more than double. He's an absolute steal. An absolute smash. And if he goes to KC, he might be running back 3 on the season in 2026. If he goes to KC, he's probably de facto 6 to 10. Default territory. Yet right now, if you ask anybody to rank Breece Hall, they wouldn't be able to put him inside their top 12 or 13, maybe even top 14 running backs. And you can't blame them because when we did the ranking just a little bit ago, here are the top 10 running backs. This is redraft, mind you. We're on the Dynasty channel right now. But this is redraft. And when you start getting through, again, redraft, that's why CMC's there. You get through this territory. Breece Hall was, even initially when I started ranking, in this like tied for 9th and 8th overall bucket, right? And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He's like in the 13, 14, 15 territory. I said, no, there's no way. Moved them into the grouping of that are fighting for that 6 overall ranking. But even here, when I'm being as bold as I can be in a sense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, he's still in the boldest environment you will find. No one's going to be bolder on Breece Hall than this channel. I'll make sure of it.
You've just been...
If I've got to raise him up, I'll raise him up. No one's going to be bolder on Breece Hall than this channel. But you look at this, and even I'm putting him at no higher than running back 10 in a redraft ranking that's putting him as bold as possibly can be. So what do you think his value is out there on the open market? And if we're talking Dynasty, which is why we're here, he's going as running back 15, 16, 17, 18 in a Dynasty startup. He's going in trade value in an existing league or a Dynasty startup that ends his draft in an existing league. This man is going to be had for running back 15, 16 overall value. This man could be had for a low-end wide receiver 2 / high-end wide receiver 3. This man could be had for a 2028 late first-round pick. Throw it in there. Do it. Swap the 28 late first rounder. Get a top 5 running back potential player on your roster in Dynasty. This is it. Ziggy, how old is Breece Hall, the running back for the New York Jets? Breece Hall.
Breece Hall is 24 years old.
Ziggy, we talked about this. When you say a player's age, you're supposed to give me the birthday, damn it, so I don't have to look it up myself. You're supposed to make me quicker, Ziggy. This guy.
Got it. Breece Hall is 24 years old, born May 31st, 2001.
Ziggy, turn off. Off. We're talking about a guy that turns 25 in May, plays his 2025 or his 25 age season, plays his 26 age season, plays his 27 age season, plays his 28 age season before we're even worried about any sort of breakdown. That's 4 years. And the problem with Dynasty is too many people look too far into the future. You're playing for second place. If you're constantly trying to corral only 23 and 24-year-old players onto your roster and getting rid of 25, 26, 27, he's gone. You're going to be playing for second place almost your entire time. Kenny says Taylor and CMC should be 4. Kenny, oh my God, I'm so glad you showed up. I wish you were here before I did my rankings, since everything you say is martial law. I mean, I if you were here in time, I could have redone my rankings around yours. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate you. Later on, we'll just take the video down and we'll redo it around what Kenny thinks, because that's what matters. Didn't realize. Thank you, Kenny, for explaining it to me. I'm not trying to start anything, but people usually do free agency a month, not into Dynasty, because they climb when the season's over. What are you talking about? You're not starting anything. You're not making sense. Nobody understands what the hell you're trying to say. From the beginning of the show, I see your other comment. You're trying to act like this is too late to do. Like, get out of here. You don't even know what you're saying. You're saying, in Dynasty, people usually buy a month or two out in Dynasty. You don't know what you're talking about. Bro, this is a Dynasty channel I'm running here. I think I'm okay, Mickey. Thank you for the advice. I'm pretty sure this is still pretty bold, but thank you very much. It's January 8th, and most leagues just started trading again now that the regular season's over, and Mickey's telling me I'm behind the game by calling out Breece Hall, one of the biggest steals in fantasy right here. Nobody even has him in their top 15 running backs, yet somehow, some way, I'm getting fantasy splained again by a guy named Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is telling me how to run my fantasy football channel. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate it. Duly noted. You and Kenny, thank you very much for controlling the channel. So glad I have you here by my side as consiglieres, or we would be in some trouble. Mickey and Kenny saved the channel on this day.
Let's go, mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Back to reality. Top 5 to 10 Dynasty gem. You will not find another channel higher on this guy, Breece Hall in Dynasty. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
All right. Let's have a conversation about Breece Hall and how he's 8 feet tall and how he's getting drafted in the second round. No, he's not, Mickey. You're spreading false narratives now. No one's drafting Breece Hall the second round in Dynasty. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Where's my graphic here? Unbelievable. Now, first of all, no one's trusting a guy named Mickey Mouse. Second of all, you just, undid any sort of, trust that anybody had by saying that. Like, as if Breece Hall is going in the second round in a Dynasty startup. And you're talking to somebody that runs a Dynasty channel. I don't need you to tell me where you think Breece Hall is going, because A, it's not accurate, and B, I don't, no offense, care where you're seeing it. But thank you. My guess is that if you're in a startup draft right now, don't worry about what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If you're in a Dynasty startup draft right now with regular individuals, he's going in the late third to probably the fourth round. No higher. No higher. No matter what a guy named Mouse says, doesn't matter. Don't listen to it anymore. He keeps running his mouth. They'll be gone from the channel. So, Mickey, you like this channel. Stop distracting the channel with your nonsense, because it's what it is. It's absolute nonsense. Breece Hall is going nowhere near second. Don't listen to a word he says. One more word out of him and he's gone. This is late third, probably fourth round value. Fourth drafted player. I don't think anybody really even touches him as a third drafted player in a Dynasty startup. Now, second of all, contrary to what some might tell you, there's no Dynasty data out there right now. There's no Dynasty ADP. Zero. And if there is anybody trying to suggest there is, they're talking about handfuls of drafts which can't collect enough data to even give you anything. But what you need to do is anticipate. And when I look at rankings, and I look at Dynasty rankings, and I say Gibbs, Bijan, Achane, Love, JT, in no particular order, Genty, Bucky, Hendy, James Cook, Chase Brown, Hampton, Harvey, even ETN, Scattaboo, like, you're talking about being at, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're at 20. We're running back 20. Breece Hall hasn't been mentioned yet. No one's drafting Breece Hall inside the top 15 running backs, which puts him well outside of the third round. This is a steal. G3 Sports says saw one a few days ago, 4.5. That's about the highest you'll see. That's about the average to highest you'll see Breece Hall go. It's about 4. I'd say mid 4, sometimes 5. I'd say he's more likely to go in 5 than he is 4 in a Dynasty startup. You're also talking about adding in like all the other players, right? So if we're talking about Gibbs, Bijan, Achane, Love, no particular order, JT, Bucky, Genty, Hendy, Harvey, that's 10. Cook, Chase Brown, Hampton, ETN, Scattaboo, that's 15 running backs. You add in Bowers, 16. McBride, 17. Another 2 or 3 tight ends, 18, 19. We're like right around 20. You add in at least the equal amount of wide receivers. So you're going from 20 to 35. And then you start getting into, so you're in the 40s. You're deep into the 40s before Breece Hall is even considered in a Dynasty startup. With the quarterbacks, everybody involved, like, this is a steal territory. By the way, dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
As far as deals that you could do, let's say you have a Josh Jacobs right now, and you're worried about that situation. If I'm looking at like 1-for-1s or creative 2-for-2s where I'm actually going after another player with Breece Hall that I like on their team, and I can get rid of somebody in crafty fashion, I think these would be a very good swap. Jacobs, I think, has a much shorter shelf life than Hall, and right now he's even questionable as far as what he's going to do. Swift, I think, is playing remarkable right now, but what's he going to look like a year or two from now? Manungai, that situation. There's a lot of players. Henry had a great year. No one's going to probably give you Hall for Henry straight up, or they might. You never know. People are wild. But you give up more. You give up second rounders. You try and figure out a way to make a very creative 2-for-1 work for you. Saquon Barkley is somebody that I'm trading for Breece Hall, you know, and if I've got to give up something. So those are some like running back creative moves. Other ones, maybe you got a surplus of quarterbacks in a 1 QB. And maybe you got a surplus in quarterback and a 2 QB. You know, and you're not talking about giving away studs, but maybe somebody's going to overpay for a third or fourth quarterback that you have because they've got nobody. Those would be the potential running back or other types of moves I can consider doing. Wide receivers, let's say you've got DK Metcalf, you want to throw picks together, DK and some stuff. So there's one avenue. You could have Sutton, you could have Devontae Smith, who I think is a good player, but if I need a running back, you could do even like a 1-for-1 swap in some cases, or get creative with it. Waddle, I'm not a big Waddle fan. All those players are you contemplate making moves for that. Okay, you're live, 516. What's your name and where are you calling from?
What's up? This is Top Chef Steph. What's up, Smitty? Calling in, man. So I'm calling in from Iowa. So with my Dynasty, I had a little bit of a hiccup towards the end of the year. I lost Daniel Jones. You know, I was rolling with Fields earlier on. He got benched. I'm sitting on some guys I don't know what to do with. So Justin Fields and Anthony Richardson, and then I got Malik Willis. So every other position's pretty much good. My running backs are nice. I like those. The only other guy which would be questionable, the only other position is my wide receiver position for Rashid Rice. So my question is, going forward, how do I attack my quarterback room? And
I'll be honest, I didn't write down your whole team. Ask me a specific, like, tailored question, because I can't. I wasn't.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, how do I improve my quarterback situation?
List your quarterbacks again. List it again.
Malik Willis. This is Dynasty. So Malik Willis, Daniel Jones, and Justin Fields, and then Jalen Milroe. So none of them really have a good.
What, 1 QB?
Super flex.
You're in some trouble, bro.
Yeah, and luckily I made it into the championship.
All right, what are your running backs? What are your running backs again? Let me write it all down.
Okay, running backs: Travis Etienne, Genty, Henderson, and then I think that is it for my starters. And then I had Braylon Allen, who got hurt. Wide receivers: Pickens, Collins, Nico, and then Egbuka, and then I got Neighbors, and then Rashid Rice.
Okay, you got a good team. I'm trying to get rid of Rice off of this news, you know. And if I've got to get like crafty with it, I would. Rice. And your tight end situation?
Tight end, I got Brock Bowers, Ben Sinnott, Elijah Arroyo.
Man, you got a really good team other than the quarterbacks. So yeah, you've got a lot of ability to move. I'm probably.
And that's what was keeping me in it, man. If I just had some good, solid quarterbacks, you know, I probably would have made it deep. But I got a lot of what ifs. You know, what's the future look like for Willis? Fields?
I would try and buy Lamar right now. We talked about this on the other Dynasty show. Like, try trading Rice for Lamar. Now, you're not going to be able to do that straight up. It's a super flex, but I'm going down that avenue if I can. Giving up first rounders. You're going to probably have to sacrifice some future to make this kind of swap happen, but I think you can do it because your team looks really solid outside. I mean, you've got elite running backs. You've got elite wide receivers. And Rice is a problem anyway. So Rice and multiple first rounders for Lamar.
And do you think people are going to buy in on Rice? Or
No, but that's what the first rounders are for, to lessen the blow and make somebody think creatively. Like, what if he's not? No one's doing Rice for a player. But if you give up first rounders, people start doing the what if game, and that's what you got to get them to do. Is like, what if, what if Lamar, or what if Rice does end up okay, and I'm getting these first rounders? But Lamar is probably the cheapest elite quarterback that you could get right now. I think JD5 would be another thought because people don't know what he really is. Dak continues to get disrespected. You could go in that direction, but you're going to give up a little less as you go down. Kyler would be an intriguing risk in a super flex. Bo Nix I would take for Rice. The quarterbacks that Herbert's very underrated, and I think he could have a real nice, rebound in terms of his value. I'd love to get Mendoza if you could.
Okay. Yeah, so I could do one of those. Definitely trade for a big quarterback. And for my second quarterback in that super flex, would I be good to rock with Malik Willis if he gets a job? Do you think he's going to get a job somewhere? I
think with your second spot, you're going to be covered between DJ, Danny Dimes, and Willis. I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I go solve this. Try and get Lamar. Try and get JD5 first. Those are the two players that I try and get. And, Baker's interesting too. I honestly, I don't even know if Baker would cost Rice. I think you could get Baker and something for Rice, but hard to say.
I made a trade earlier. Didn't mean to cut you off. So you spoke about picking up Mendoza. I did hit a guy. He's got the first overall pick. He's in a rebuild. I asked him Rice and Blake Corum and a fourth rounder this year for his first overall. Is that too much, or is that pretty? I mean, he's good on quarterbacks.
That's easy. But the problem is I'd want to pick Love very badly. So it'd be really, really tough.
I've seen a lot of videos you've been posting about him. He does look solid. He's been having a hell of a career in college.
But you don't need that. But yeah, I'd probably go Mendoza. But you might be able to get the 2 pick. And then if they end up taking, it wouldn't necessarily solve your problem, but it'd give you more firepower. But you could do the 2 pick, and if they go Love at 1, then you get Mendoza at 2 cheaper. But and if they take Mendoza at 1, then you just take Love, and you figure out another. I'd rather have Love than Rice.
I'm really
no matter
trying to hold
what.
out for the 2027 class.
Yeah, but again, if you wait on Rice, you could get Love right now. You'd be kicking yourself later when Rice is worth 0. If he is. So go trade for the 2 pick or the 1, but don't be afraid to do the 2. And then
2 pick or 1.
You get Mendoza. You get Love instead of Rice. It's a win-win.
Okay. So what would you offer straight up? Just Rice straight up for that?
What you just said.
Okay.
Straight up. I give up multiple second rounders on top of what you just said.
Oh wow. Okay.
Easily.
Perfect.
Yeah, of course.
I'll run that through, and man, I'm in the Patreon, so I'll let you guys know how it goes. Appreciate it, man.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
Later, brother. Yep. Later.
All right. All right. Let's talk Breece Hall. Who wants to call in and talk Breece Hall? Dial in. That's what this show is about. I don't mind helping with other questions too, but I want to discuss Breece Hall. No full team breakdowns on the phone line, just because we don't really have at this moment. I want to go through this. Hit me with your best shot. Breece Hall conversation. Do it live.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Thanks. Was that Top Chef? I didn't even know who that was that called in. He said he was on the Patreon, but I didn't catch it. Top Chef, thank you. Don't feel bad about asking your Dynasty question on the Dynasty channel. I just, for right now in this moment, regardless of what you said or asked about, I just mean the next phone call, I want it to be Breece Hall. And if anybody has like a fantasy question outside of that, by all means, ask it too. I'm not trying to make anybody think they can't call into the show and talk about their team. But I do want to specifically start off with Breece Hall. Top Chef, thank you, pal. Appreciate you. I'm trying to buy Willis low. Where I can in Superflex leagues? Where you can in Superflex leagues? Could be a starter next season. Yeah, we love Malik Willis. Malik Willis will be a starter next season. Not he could be. He will be. He definitely will be. I just traded for Breece. I'm invested now. What did you trade, Bleeko? Congrats on getting him. By the way, I'm trying my best to get Breece on the show. He was supposed to come on the show last year twice, and he canceled twice. And I'm trying to get him back on. It's just the players that are in the NFL currently are so hard to get on the show. And I have Breece Hall lined up twice, and then he just bailed out. But he's a favorite here. We've loved Breece for so long. He's definitely a
Get Breece.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking
He's
call.
got one of the oldest videos on this channel, like in terms of an animation and a video, and it always gives me such havoc. It plays when it shouldn't play. I'll hit another button and a Breece Hall video will play, and then when I hit it, it takes forever. Like, watch it loaded. I don't know what's wrong with this damn video. I hit it like it's not doing anything. It's the only
Breece
one.
Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always
It's the only one.
answer
It must
the
be a
mother freaking call.
mega big file. I didn't even look at what the file size is on that one. Maybe that's the problem. But man, that thing drags. It plays when it shouldn't play. I don't know if it's got AI hooked into it to where it's like, let's have a mind of our own. Let's take over the show, because it'll just play out of nowhere, and that's the only video that does it. I got to look into that damn file. I got to resave it and see if that fixes it. DJ, you're live.
Best show on the planet, Smitty. I was hoping Travis might call in, before me, but I'll chime in and hang up. Breece Hall, he was rumored to go originally maybe to the Chiefs, right? It kind of
the way he was going to be traded to the Chiefs, but the Chiefs wanted to give up a 4th rounder. The Chiefs wanted a 3rd rounder, and the Chiefs said no to a 3rd rounder, and they just moved on. It's ridiculous. It's insane.
And I think he would have liked, heck, I guess any running back would like to go to the Chiefs. And I think he was all for that. So that would make sense if he was to land there. But pretty much anywhere, man. He's explosive. He can catch the ball. That Jets offense, he suffered behind that. And I think he might be the running back 1 free agent.
Yeah, I mean, he still could get tagged, so we'll see, what he ends up being, if he's available or not. The Jets would be smart to tag and trade him, but it's hard to say. The running back market's tough, and the Jets are going to be a laughing stock like they already are if they end up not tagging him, letting Breece Hall walk, and they could have folded to the Chiefs and got rid of him for a 4th rounder instead of letting him walk for free. What a debacle, but what a very New York Jet-like thing to do. So it's hard to know what's going to happen, but he's certainly going to be the top option if he is available, if they let him go and they don't tag him. So I'll have a running back board that we'll keep tallies and track of when the RBs land places and talk about all that. So for sure.
Yeah. So again, from a dynasty perspective, I think he would be RB1.
For sure.
Assuming he does come, come available. But the Jets do have a number of draft picks, so it would make sense to sign and trade them, get some more draft capital. What that looks like, they're the Jets, but they're pretty loaded with the draft picks and some leverage. So if they do tag them, that just makes sense. And then even think about that. Definitely can't let them walk away.
Well, yeah. The problem with the tagging, though, which is the crazy part, is that you got to be careful. It's kind of like in an auction when you're playing in a fantasy football auction and you want to try and drive the price up on somebody, but you don't want the player. You got to be careful. Like, you can't just tag him and then not expect every team to want him. And then what if you can't, he's got to work out a contract in unison with the trade, because no team is going to trade draft capital, especially the draft capital that will be commanded here, which will probably be a 3rd rounder. I mean, it could still end up being a 4th rounder or whatever, but it's crazy how cheap he's going to be. But let's say it's a 3rd rounder. No team's going to give up this coveted, which I think is so overvalued, but coveted 3rd round pick and have him as a rental. They only do these trades, typically teams, when, and the Pickens trade was unique, that they did that without working out a long-term deal. They just wanted to wait because Jerry's an unusual person. But all teams, when they make a trade of this magnitude, they will only do it if the player's locked up, because they don't want to give up the draft capital without knowing that the player's there. Now, for some of you saying that you think he stays in New York, it's certainly possible, but he has to want to stay in New York. And there's a really good chance he does not want to stay. From everything that we've gathered, he's tired of this situation. And he could change his mind at any moment. We've seen players put up weird, cryptic stuff, and then the next minute they're asked, do you want to stay? And they're like, yeah. Like, so we don't really know. But at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to keep him if he doesn't want to stay. They could tag him, and he could say, I'm not signing a long-term deal with you. But they wouldn't want to pay him on a rebuild that amount of money for 1 year. They'd only want him in New York as if they were going to still build around him, and they believe in him long term. But the Jets are more in a rebuild mode, not looking to ink a player to a multi-year deal. And even though running backs cost a lot less, it's still a big contract and commitment to a player that might run its course by the time the team's ready. Because I think anybody coming in knows it's a multiple-year process. They don't think they're coming in to save the Jets and turn the Jets around in 1 year. I don't think anybody's as stupid. So I don't know the Jets' plans will have Breece Hall in it, but you never ever know. Yeah, poor Garrett Wilson. But man, this is exciting where he could go. But we'll see. As far as the free agent running backs that are out there, Najee, I'll write them all down right here. Najee, Eckler's not even worth writing down. Javonte would probably be, running back number 2. Etienne. So Breece Hall and Etienne would probably be the top 2. Javonte would be number 3. Dowdle is out there. He's older, though, so the market value on Dowdle is lower. Walker's up there for sure. Kenneth Walker. There's a lot of good free agents. J.K. Dobbins, no one cares. Gainwell's good. But I don't know that he's going to command. There's not enough spots for guys at Gainwell's level to grab a hold of, and compete for those. B-Rob Jr., Rashad White. But there's only 4 or 5 legit spots, so these guys are probably screwed. Emmanuel Wilson for the Green Bay Packers. Let me see. Zonovan Knight, no one cares. Let's see here. I'm going through them all. Brian Robinson Jr., Rashad White, Miles Sanders, no one cares. Jeremy McNichols, no thanks. Alexander Madison, Mostert, no. Jerome Ford is interesting, but I don't think any team's going to bring him in as a starter by any means. J.K. Dobbins, I'll write him on here, but no one's going to bring him in. Chubb, no. I'll put him down here. Chubb. Zamir. Let me just go through these real quick. Hold on one second. Tyler Algier. Evan Hall. Pacheco. I'll make a board on this. I might make it while we're live here. Keaton Mitchell. Oh, Keaton Mitchell's restricted free agent. Sorry. Keaton Mitchell's a restricted free agent. Pacheco is a unrestricted free agent. Tyler Algier, unrestricted free agent. Emmanuel Wilson's a restricted free agent. So I'll scratch that one out. Keaton Mitchell, restricted free agent. I think that is every major player right there. If Travis, when you call in, if you see anybody that I missed, let me know. All right, go ahead, DJ. I'm sorry, but I'll create a board. I'll start dragging all these players onto the screen here while you're talking.
Well, it's interesting if in terms of the landing spots with Hall, the Chiefs, Saints, who knows, because of the running back draft class. In fact, I saw your your top 6 rookie running backs.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't seen it, you should go check it out. So yeah, there's always 1 or 2 that's going to show up, right? But with the number of free agents this year, I think that's going to suppress the rookie running back draft class. But with Chiefs maybe being in the position to draft Hall, considering the Rice situation, not Hall, I'm sorry, Love, considering the Rice situation, it'd be pretty interesting because they did have interest in him. So it would seem like they may go wide receiver and try and bring in a running back, which at this point, if they can work it out, Hall. I didn't know that about the free agent. About the what do you call it, the tag in terms of 1 year. But that makes sense. Why would you do that? Why would you trade for someone that may not want to re-sign.
It's very rare. First of all, on the tag, it's even more rare to trade for someone and then not have not work out a long-term deal. But in the case of like Pickens, where he was going to be a restricted free agent, Pickens, and the Cowboys traded for him. But that was a unique situation where Jerry wanted to trade for him to try and make a run and make up for Parsons and all that. And he thought it was a move that could have potentially, well, actually, no, that was done before. But anyway, he wanted to. They didn't sign Parsons to a long-term deal, is I guess what I'm trying to say. And they're trying to make up for all that and win like now is what I'm. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things in one.
No, I'm following you.
But yeah, it's so essentially like him not working out a long-term deal with Pickens was unusual, but it was all based on 1 year. It was based on them trying to win 1 year, make up for all of the bad moves he was making to try and win a championship, which is ridiculous if he even thought he was going to win a championship. He's not going to win a championship with that team. I think Dallas is really good, but they could be very good, but they're not championship caliber. Let me see if I could hold on. Let me just get all these players on screen real quickly. Najee, where's Najee? Najee the Pirate, where is he at? Do I have him with the eye patch? I did at one point. No, I don't. Here it is. Okay, so Najee, Dowdle, Pacheco, Gainwell is the only one I don't have like a graphic for. So the top free agent running backs are, I would say, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Javonte Williams, Kenneth Walker. I mean, you could put Kenneth Walker and Javonte like neck and neck, honestly. But that's probably what we're looking at there. And then as far as like the next best option, I mean, is it Brian Robinson Jr.? Is it Dowdle? Probably Dowdle. He's older, so it's hard to really figure that one. But then you got Pacheco, Rashad White, Brian Robinson Jr. might get some looks. It's hard to know if like he'll go back to San Francisco. Because I don't think there's going to be a market for most of these guys at all. The rookie running backs, I get what you're saying, DJ, about this class will hurt the rookie running backs, but it's usually the other way around because these rookies are free practically, and anybody else costs money. So if anything, the rookies put a damper on the free agent running backs more so.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because of that rookie contract, and in particular, if you drafted them in the third, fourth round, not the actual teams.
Yeah,
drafted in the third and fourth round.
And there's probably only going to be one running back drafted like in the top. There'll be Love drafted in round 1, and there may not even be another running back drafted in round number 2 at all. It's possible we have one, but this could be a world where we don't see a single running back get drafted in round 2, and it's just Jeremiah Love. So this is, and I might be missing somebody. If anybody sees somebody that I'm missing on here that I read off and I didn't write them down or I didn't pull it onto the screen, but these are the top free agent running backs. It's a very interesting class. I mean, it's very good. It's a very, very good class.
Yeah, and you know what? Also, landing spot could change that, right? I mean, you always make a good point about Aaron Foster, right? In terms of his fantasy finishes, year in and out. I mean, his landing spot was just perfect in that scheme. Mm-hmm. So, when we get close to that can also make a difference, obviously,
Yeah. I mean, it definitely could turn Breece Hall into the top 5 running back. So, yeah, this is interesting. It's such a good, the 5 running backs here, Hall, Etienne, Williams, Walker, and Dowdle are insane. And the top landing spots are KC, New Orleans, Washington, Minnesota, maybe. Dallas, if they retain Williams, which seems likely at this point that they retain Williams. So that Williams and the Dallas Cowboys might be off the board soon. But I think we do got to put them up here. The Jets are going to be an option because because they. Let me erase this board here. The Jets are going to be an option because I think they're letting Breece Hall go, and I mean, Braylon Allen, I don't think is anything crazy special, but he might get a shot. But I don't think it's anything anybody should be holding their breath on. I think they would draft a running back. The running backs, you got to also remember, just like we kind of just alluded to, the running backs are so cheap, given that almost none of them except for Love need to go high, that every team in the NFL can partake in drafting a surplus of RBs they don't need. And so if a team like the Jets needs a running back, and they say, well, we got Braylon Allen and we got a couple guys, it doesn't matter. They can still draft the second best running back in this rookie class in round 3, and it doesn't even hurt them. So it's almost dangerous when these running backs fall too far, because they could fall to a really bad spot. Or they could fall to a really good spot because you get to the 3rd round and the best team in the league could draft one. So it's kind of interesting, where running backs go. But Saints are probably the number 1 landing spot for an RB, in my opinion. It's just a fun team. It's built around Shuck and Olave, and they're going to need to run the hell out of the ball. And while KC feels like a better spot, I don't think it is. I think it's a good spot. I think it's one of the best, but I think the Saints are by far and away the best landing spot for RBs. So Saints, KC, Chiefs, Washington Commanders. Even though we like Bill, they don't seem to like Bill. Minnesota, Jets, Tennessee's in the mix here for an RB. Arizona could be, but I don't know that I would necessarily list them as one of the top spots because they seem to love James Conner. You never know what the new regime's going to do, though. They might not. They might move on. So the Cardinals could be in the mix. In fact, I'll put them on here. I think they deserve to be in the mix. We just don't know what's going on with Benson either. Benson had supposed to come back and then he didn't. Like, what's wrong with that situation? So these are all the available spots. What other? Houston, probably not, but they could maybe not believe in Woody. Baltimore, they could prepare for Henry's fall. San Francisco will definitely draft a couple running backs. Don't even think. So San Francisco is sneaky. And the reason San Francisco is sneaky, because if CMC finally breaks down, whoever is drafted will start games. I can almost guarantee you, whoever San Francisco drafts rookie running back will start games in 2026. No matter how many it is, they'll start games. They're an interesting take. Carolina has Chuba Hubbard, so it's hard to really put him here. Tennessee, Jets, Minnesota, Washington, and then Dallas. I'll put Dallas on here, but so these are the running back landing spots. Dallas will either, draft a Jeremiah Love, or they're bringing him back before the draft even happens, Javonte. So those are the landing spots. Those are it's a pretty solid crew. Let me copy this over, and now we got a rookie running back board to look at, or not a rookie running back, free agent running back board.
Yeah, I was just, as you were speaking, I was thinking just in terms of Walker, and someone in the chat thinking about the Vikings being good for K9, Top Chef. I think they might be, if not number 2, number 3 behind KC, no? In terms of maybe landing spots.
The Vikings, yeah, maybe. Yeah, let me go ahead and move all this over. Let's see here. Hold on a second.
While you're doing that. So, yeah, in terms of value, where we might be getting them at in terms of ADP, Hall, I think would definitely be still, 3rd, 4th round, even with landing spot, because I think you went through the exercise in terms of who may be in front of them. So, yeah, a lot of these guys, except for maybe ETN. Now, I could see ETN probably going round 2. Maybe even Williams. But Walker, Hall, Dowdle.
I would say this is my ranking, I think. New Orleans, KC, Dallas. I don't know if I like Washington or Minnesota better. The thing about Washington is they didn't really use their RBs properly, so it concerns you. And it'd have to be Breece. If it was Breece Hall, I would love it. I think it would work. I think that they would commit to Breece Hall too. I don't think this would be like some sort of like we think we know what's going on. So Washington would be intriguing.
Well, hopefully the new OC will use Bill or identify one, but because Cliff is no longer there,
Yeah, let me hold on one second. Let me just put these. So Hall is the 1. The number 1 landing spot is Breece Hall. The number 2 is ETN. The number 3 is Javonte. The number 4 is mother freaking Walker. The number 5 is Dowdle. The number 1 landing spot for I think, period, is the Saints. If you guys disagree, by all means, drop it in the chat. It's okay. It's a very, very, Vikings could be your number 2 spot, and they might end up being my number 2 spot. Just right now, I don't have them as the number 2. So I'd say it would be Dallas. Let's see here. Let me move these around. Number 1, New Orleans. Number 2, KC. Number 3, Dallas. Number 4, I don't know. Guys, vote in the chat. Do you think Washington is better than Minnesota? The reason I worry about Minnesota is they're going to lose Flores. And they don't have a quarterback situation. But they run the ball well. It's an intriguing spot for sure. And sometimes those are the teams that need that production the most. But Washington, I think they could put together something really lucrative. And JD5 being as mobile as he is, and I still think I think he's still going to work out. I think JD5 is still going to be a stud. But they certainly are going to have defenses kept honest more. The question is, will they commit to the running back that they bring in? So it depends on the level of running back. If Washington brings in Dowdle, they could screw around with it. They bring in Breece Hall, it's going to be full go.
It should be. But you know what? Maybe the Chiefs might be I'm thinking Vikings were number 2, but maybe the Chiefs. And that's because, like we talked about a few weeks ago on the Dynasty channel, in terms of maybe a change in philosophy. And this was even pre-Mahomes' injury, just in terms of, them moving off of Pacheco. And them stating, we want to bring in a back. So, maybe the Chiefs would be 2, because I just think they're going to be running the ball.
Well, they've said they're moving off from Pacheco, and they said that when they go after a back, it's going to be the word is it's going to be a big name runner. They're not just going to try and get another Pacheco. So if they go all in, they're going all in. On a running back. So if they draft, let's say, Love, it's going to be great. Love's going to go crazy. If they don't draft Love and they draft like Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon, one of the top 3 rookie wide receivers to replace Rashee Rice for whatever reason you think Rice plays or doesn't play, then they'll probably go after Breece Hall, who they initially wanted. They'll go after ETN. They'll go after Javonte. They'll go after Walker. And if KC gets one of these guys, they're pot committed to that, feeding that running back. They go after a Dowdle, that's where it's like a team could bring in Dowdle and not really use him. We don't know. Hopefully they don't. But.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins is a free agent, and I only bring that up because of his usage earlier in the year. I'm not really concerned about him. But, with Harvey being there, I wouldn't be surprised if Denver drafts a running back or brings it, but it'd be late. And I don't think that would really, in my opinion,
they'll definitely look at a running back for sure. Look, Denver will draft a running back late. San Francisco is going to draft a running back late. There are certain coaches that will constantly try and make sure they have enough players at certain positions that they love, but it will just matter which running back falls to the Denver Broncos. But they certainly draft one, but not to replace Harvey. You know, unless let's say they're sitting there in the third round still, and the number 2 running back in the league, in the like Jonah, for example, Jonah Coleman. If they draft Jonah Coleman, it depends how they fall. But this won't be because someone doesn't believe in Harvey, but it would be because they're like, damn it, this is like an insane value. And then they draft Jonah Coleman. And then Harvey gets injured at some point. And then Jonah Coleman comes in and Jonah Coleman takes up. Like any of those scenarios could happen. And this rookie running, and this is why I said it's dangerous. When rookie running backs fall too far, it's dangerous. Because the wrong teams, in our minds, get their hands on these guys so cheaply that they take risks and say, well, we don't need an RB, but damn it, this is the second best RB in the draft. And we're sitting here in the third round and we don't really know who we even want right here. Let's just take Jonah Coleman. And then Jonah Coleman ends up being one of the most goal line threatening running backs in the National Football League for a starter. So it's certainly possible that any of these teams, but no one's trying to, like, there's somebody like trying to cause a ruckus on the last live stream trying to say that they're trying to get rid of Harvey and they don't like, it's ridiculous. But sometimes the running backs are such good values you can't pass them up. And you know, and I would even do that personally. I'd probably piss some people off, but I wouldn't let Price or Coleman sit there in the mid third round. So
yeah, and I get that. And it's just, I think, a matter of their landing spots and usage. But with Peyton's system, as he's done before, and of course this is 2026, we're talking Dynasty. 2 running backs can coexist. And the good thing is Harvey can run in between the tackles. I think he has some vision problems a little bit. But we know how Peyton uses his running backs, in particularly how he was using Harvey towards the end and the PPR and the catches. So I wouldn't be too concerned, even if they did bring in someone, because we've seen them, use 2 backs. Washington, I would be concerned. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, my boy?
No, my man. Appreciate you hearing me out.
All right. Appreciate you, DJ.
Later.
Thanks, bro. Later. Yeah, Pacheco, top shelf. Yeah, Pacheco's gone, bro. They've already said they're moving on. They're moving on from Pacheco. They've said they need a big name running back, and so they're going to go after a big name running back. Here is the running back landing spots. Love this board. Looks fantastic. Let me just check real quickly the list again, see if I missed anybody on the free agent list. So it's Najee, Eckler, who cares, ETN, Javonte, Dowdle, Chubb. Guess we could put Chubb on there, but I don't think he's going to do anything. J.K. Dobbins, no. Gainwell. So I got to find Gainwell's graphic. So Gainwell looks like he's the only player I'm missing that is deserving of being listed with Rashad White, Brian Robinson Jr., Zamir White, no. Hassan Haskins, no. Emmanuel Wilson's a restricted free agent, so he'll probably be kept. Tyler, because there's no team going to go get him at the cost of being a restricted free agent. Tyler Algier. Okay, so we need to put maybe Algier, Gainwell, and that's it. Sean Tucker's. I didn't know Sean Tucker was a restricted free agent, but that'll be easy to keep him with this running back market and climate and all the rookies and the lack of landing spots. So he'll probably stay. But I didn't realize Sean Tucker was a restricted free agent. That's good for Bucky. Because Rashad White's gone and Sean Tucker, who knows, he could be gone. Then again, it's like you got to be careful, because then if they draft one of these rookies and they fall too far, it's like Jonah Coleman falls under the Bucks. Jonah Coleman is a big threat to fall somewhere and ruin somebody's day. Price, for anybody that wants to see the rookie running backs that we have, I have them right here. Let me see if I can get rid of this now. Okay, so we'll do that. Let me get rid of Breece Hall real quickly. And these are the rookie running backs, just so everybody knows. So Emmett Johnson, love him. Jadarian Price, love him. Jadarian Price, rookie running back. Go watch my rookie running back, top 5 rookie running back video. It's on this it's on the main channel. I'm going to do a breakdown on each one individually from a dynasty perspective. But Emmett Johnson, love him. Jadarian Price, love him. This guy was in the same backfield as Jeremiah Love in Notre Dame. And so his stats and numbers aren't the greatest. And so people are going to probably be a little bit standoffish of Price and say, I don't know if he can do it. He only had 674 yards, but this guy scores touchdowns. His hands are amazing. His contact balance is elite. He's 211, 209. He looks fantastic. And then we've got our boy Emmett Johnson, who I think if Emmett Johnson goes in the right spot, this could be Cadillac Williams meets, what did I compare him to when I started talking about Johnson? I said Cadillac Williams meets Lev Bell. He's so shifty. He's one of those completely almost stops in his tracks, looks around, and then runs again. Like, it's really fun to watch Emmett Johnson run the football. So Emmett Johnson's fantastic. And then Jonah Coleman, who I keep referencing, he's 228 pounds, 5'9". He's a truck. He's an absolute truck. This looks like Jamal Lewis. He's built like Jamal Lewis. Do you remember Jamal Lewis? That's Jonah Coleman. And 15 touchdowns, 758. Look at his receiving, 31, 354, and 2. Guy's an absolute truck and a unit. And it's not like he doesn't rush, he struggled with some injuries, but 1053 the year prior and 10 touchdowns on the ground. So he's definitely capable of carrying the rock at a tune of 1,000 yards per season. He just had some injuries. But like I said, 15 scores, 4.9 a carry, 17 total touchdowns, and well over 1,000 yards on the ground total, even not, even being banged up. But 15 scores, this truck of a man is going to ruin somebody's fantasy football afternoon. I can almost guarantee it, unless he falls to just the perfect spot. But again, the risk involved in the NFL draft is that these running backs, except for Jeremiah Love, all go so late in the 3rd round even, that any team could take a gamble. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be dangerous. It could be the Raiders that take Jonah Coleman. I think if he goes to a place where there's an elite running back, that will curb it. And there's no way that player, Jonah Coleman or Price or any of these running backs, Emmett Johnson, are going to overtake a Genty. But if they land in a place like Green Bay, then you're kind of in trouble. They land in a place like Tampa. I mean, Bucky's going to be in some trouble if Jonah Coleman lands in Tampa to become the between the tackles, grind it out on 1st and 2nd down, goal line running back. It's certainly going to be in the cards for Jonah Coleman to take over. Not necessarily the entire role, but enough to really damage. So top 8 Dynasty RB. Buy him now, buy him now, buy him now. Appreciate every single one of you. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday, live whenever big news breaks, and live at midnight Eastern on the main channel, link in the description. Please subscribe to this Dynasty show that you're watching right now. It is its own Dynasty channel. Maybe you got recommended this video and you thought you're watching the main channel. You're on the Dynasty channel. Please subscribe to the Dynasty channel right now. Content dripping out daily here on the Dynasty channel. Appreciate every single one of you. Smitty, you really like Genty in Dynasty, says Corey. Corey, what do you think?
The Jupiter men. Jupiter is so large, every planet in the solar system could fit inside it. There are no bigger monsters than the Jupiter men.
How you like that? Blico says you doing Dynasty regular. What did I just say? I said we have a Dynasty video every day. What's that? Blico, what's that mean to you? Does every day sound like a regular thing? Appreciate every single one of you. Even Blico. Deuce. Subscribe or you're going to miss Dynasty content dripping out like crazy. Look at this old board I just found. This is where we saw, Harvey in the second round, Hendy at 38. I can't wait to get into the NFL draft stuff. I just can't wait. Deuce!